Newsome, indie author of the Rise of the Fallen series. Find it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Books A Million right now. Happy St. Patty's Day, and here's 10 questions with Sandman.
Awesome.
Oh, it's definitely a little bit of both, because you look at the world a completely different way than most people. But I think a big part of it is, where you're so observant, you try to notice everything, because when you're writing, you want to put that much detail in so everybody can see what you're talking about. You have the image in your head, but that doesn't necessarily mean that everybody else is going to see it while they're reading it. The most challenging part of my writing is basically finding the time. Working full-time children, it's a lot of late nights, even when I'm not at work. So
sleep sacrifice.
Yeah, sleep sacrifice, definitely. Trying to make sure that the story's flowing right, make sure all the just the normal stuff, but mainly the timing is the hardest part. Son of the World, it was mainly just the challenge of actually getting through the book. The first book is always the hardest, but it was so much fun to write. The second book, New Gods, it was a lot more challenging because the plotline was so much thicker. There were new characters, and I was trying to bring these characters to life, even more so than I did in the first book.
So more work.
Yeah, there's more work, there's more personalities to think of and try to portray. And then with the Pipsqueak and Bob book, well, that was just kind of fun. It was based on my son and my nephew, and the stories they used to tell me about their adventures as kids, and hopefully I'll have some more of those here pretty soon. All my fans are awesome. I'm just grateful to have fans in general and to be able to share my works with everybody. But just the reaction that I've gotten is
on your organic reviews.
Oh yeah,
Pretty good, right, here lately?
Oh yeah,
Lots of 5 stars.
That's it. That's what I'm hoping for.
Feels awesome.
Yes, it does.
That's awesome.
Top 3.
Anne Rice, right?
I'd rather at least keep it to top 5.
5?
Yeah, Anne and Christopher Rice. Oh,
number 1 is Anne? No, I'm filming.
Anne and Christopher Rice, definitely.
Anne Christopher Rice.
Yeah, one of the
Do you remember the first book by her you read?
Interview with the Vampire was the first book I read by her, and I read it 7 times in high school.
How young were you?
I was 14 the first time I picked it up.
And you can still reread her work today and enjoy it just as much.
Oh yeah.
It's still the payoff of the story.
Just the way she writes is so beautiful and so poetic, and Christopher is not much different in this.
Christopher is Anne's son?
Yes.
And he's an author too?
Yes.
Wow.
He's incredible as well.
So he's the number 2 after his mother?
Yeah. Stephen King.
Stephen King.
Will always be a favorite.
How old were you when you read your first Stephen?
Actually,
very young?
18.
18
was the first time.
Late in your...
I picked up The Gunslinger, and that's what...
The Gunslinger?
Yep.
Was that the one that was made into a movie last year?
Well, it was basically...
One of those characters?
Yeah. It was one of those characters. So you're Chuck Palahniuk.
And who's he?
He's the author of Fight Club.
Oh, okay.
Choke. Lullaby.
Big influence on your style, right?
Huge influence on my style, because he is just straightforward in your face. Whether you like it or not, he's going to put it right there.
Memento? Didn't he write Memento?
No,
he's not connected to that?
No. And James Patterson, I've always loved his thrillers, and just the way he is just boom, boom, boom. The action just never stops in his books, and he's definitely a thrill rider.
Awesome. Any other ones you want to mention?
H.P. Lovecraft.
Of course.
Oh yeah, H.P. Definitely Edgar Allan Poe.
Okay.
And Louis L'Amour.
What about contemporary writers today, besides yourself? Indie.
I've been reading Lux Murray by Defina Dreamer and Geoffrey Lake. Their book is really good. I've been reading Darren Dealey's books.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to Darren.
Yeah, I haven't got started on Tommy Logan yet, but I got to read the first chapter right now.
That one's a thrill ride there, buddy.
That was great. So.
All right. This is a tough one, right? Are you ever in the bed to get out of it?
I'm right in bed.
You sleep on the laptop, I guess.
Basically. Yeah, no, I'm sitting there in bed usually with the TV player and my laptop in my lap, just typing away. Half time I'll wake up and there'll be a line of 8s on the page because, I fall asleep while I'm writing.
Very honest.
Yeah. Mainly I just get out of bed because I know I have stuff I have to do that day. If it wasn't for that, I'd probably stay in bed all day.
It's the same reason why you can't get overly addicted to video games, right?
Exactly.
Commitment and priorities.
I get overly addicted to video games. That's the end of it. I'll lose my job and everything else.
We're only human.
I've been reading since I was 4 years old. So
4 years old.
But the story that probably most impacted me was My Side of the Mountain. I read it in 4th grade. I was already reading chapter books at 10 years old. And it was such a good book. I felt like I was right there in Catskills with the main character, and it inspired me just to be out in nature more.
Were you assigned to read the book?
No.
It's just one you wrote on your own choice.
I just picked it up on my own and started reading it.
Was there any books that you were forced to read as a child in school that you ended up loving? Several?
Yeah, several. I don't think I've ever picked up a bad
Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah, I love them all.
Yeah.
They all bring new experiences.
The Giver. Did you have to read? I had to read that one in school.
I can't remember if I read The Giver or not, actually. That was when I was homebound from surgery in 5th grade, so I can't remember much of that. Yeah.
Okay.
Mainly I've learned that I don't take demands very well, so it's easier for me to have complete control over my books. I run into this with jobs a lot.
Right.
If somebody asks me to do something great, they start raising their voice for no reason. I tend to, push back.
Right.
In other words, so it was an easier, more logical choice. I don't want to be stuck on someone else's deadline. If I'm going to push myself, it's going to be for myself. So.
Well, how many of us desire to be our own boss, and that's exactly what you're doing?
Yeah. I think I can deal with myself a whole lot more than other people. The first story I remember writing for school was about a turkey, and I kind of found it a lot funnier than everybody else because even then I had a dark sense of humor and a lot of sarcasm, so it came across in the story and no one else seemed to catch the humor as much as I did. Now, later on I started writing a short story about kids that were trapped in New Orleans and they were hunting with a teenage boy for vampires, and he was half vampire himself. And I don't actually remember what happened to those pages, but I was kind of disappointed whenever they came out with the Blood Rain games because my character's name was Rayne, Rain. So
I remember Blood Rain.
Yeah.
Definitely popular during the PS2 era.
Yeah, I kind of felt a little ripped off on that one, but I didn't have it copyrighted, so. it's funny the way I came up with the idea. Originally, it started out. I was watching TV and the trailer for the movie Split came on, and the same way it takes and abducts the girls in the movie. Something clicked in my head. I said, you know, what if a serial killer used an app kind of like Uber to find his victims, and he, you know, captured them the same way and held them victims. So, and it started out with just that basic premise, and I had a list of names, and I just started working. I started with the first name, and 700 words in a couple hours. I was like, hey, I might be able to do something with this. I shared it with a couple of people, and they were just blown away with the idea.
The concept.
So, yeah, the concept. So I just approached it that way, one chapter at a time. And
how close to the finished product was your original idea?
Well, I had the serial killer and victims part, but as far as that, it transformed.
Metamorphed a lot then.
Yeah, it transformed a lot. So.
Awesome.
Hey, this is Raymond Newsome. Thank you for joining us today. Check out my books on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Books A Million. Rise of the Fallen Series, Adventures of Pipsqueak and Bob. And I thank you guys for coming.